Have you ever found yourself talking to someone who made you question your own reality? They didn't raise their voice. They didn't insult you directly. They just asked questions. Calm, carefully calculated questions that made you doubt what you felt, what you witnessed, and even who you are. That's the brilliance of manipulation. It conceals itself behind innocent curiosity. A deceiver doesn't always confront your truth head-on. They plant a tiny seed of confusion in your mind and let your own thoughts do the rest of the damage. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The truth is simple, deceit is tangled." When you learn to recognize the knots, you'll never be bound by them again. Today we're going to uncover 7 questions deceivers use to twist your perception, and how Stoic awareness can shield your inner peace from emotional predators. Because once you understand the game they're playing, you'll stop being the one who loses. These aren't random questions. They're surgical tools, carefully designed to dismantle your confidence, distort your reality, and make you question everything you know to be true. But here's the good news. Once you learn to recognize them, once you understand the pattern behind them, they lose their power. You'll see them coming from a mile away. And when you do, you'll have the tools to protect yourself, not with anger or aggression, but with clarity and calm. That's the Stoic way. If you're ready to protect your peace with truth, drop a comment below. Type these words, "I protect my peace with truth." And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button now. This is Stoic Ocean, your daily dose of Stoic wisdom. Every single week, we dive deep into the principles that protect you from emotional predators. Welcome to our community. Let's begin. Question 1. Why are you so sensitive? It starts so small. A sigh, a smirk, a line drops so effortlessly that you barely notice the poison within it. "Why are you so sensitive?" they ask, as if they genuinely care, as if they're simply confused by your reaction. You freeze for a moment, wondering if perhaps you're really overreacting. Maybe you misunderstood. Maybe you're the problem here. That's how manipulation functions. Not through force, but through subtle distortion. The deceiver doesn't attack your mind directly. They make you attack yourself instead. Picture this. You express discomfort about something they said or did. Instead of acknowledging it, they tilt their head, raise an eyebrow, and deliver that question with perfect timing. Suddenly, you're not discussing their behavior. You're defending your right to have feelings. The conversation has shifted from their actions to your reactions, and that's the trap. This question sounds harmless, but it's one of the oldest tactics of emotional control. It tells you that your feelings are exaggerated, that your reality is unreliable. Once you begin to apologize for feeling something real, they've succeeded. You start editing yourself, softening your words, silencing your intuition, doubting your memory. They've shifted the power dynamic without raising their voice. And the moment you accept that label, too sensitive, they no longer need to argue. You'll censor yourself for them. Think about what happens over time. You stop mentioning when something bothers you. You laugh off comments that actually hurt. You minimize your own needs to avoid being called that word again. The manipulator has trained you to doubt your instincts, to second-guess your feelings, to believe that your perception is the problem, not their behavior. This is emotional conditioning at its finest. But here's the truth. People who feel deeply are not fragile. They're awake. They notice tone, silence, and energy shifts that others miss. Empathy gives them vision, but manipulators twist that precious gift into a weakness. They exploit it because sensitivity threatens them. It exposes the tension they try to hide behind charm. That's why they joke when you confront them. They laugh and say, "Relax, it was just a joke." But here's what they don't want you to know. Your sensitivity is actually your superpower. It's your internal radar, your early warning system that something isn't right. When you feel that knot in your stomach, that tension in your chest, your body is telling you something your mind hasn't fully processed yet. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. The problem isn't that you feel too much. The problem is they want you to feel less so they can continue doing what they're doing without consequence. But Stoicism teaches the opposite. Your emotions are not enemies, they're messengers of truth. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, it is not the thing itself that troubles you, but your judgment about it." This quote is often misunderstood. He wasn't telling you to suppress emotion. He was teaching you to interpret it. Feelings are data. They reveal where your boundaries are being crossed. A Stoic doesn't reject emotion. He refines it. You can feel anger without letting it own you. You can feel hurt without surrendering your clarity. Think of emotions as your body's alarm system. When smoke fills a room, the alarm goes off. That's not a malfunction. That's the alarm doing exactly what it should do, telling you there's danger. Your emotional sensitivity works the same way. When someone crosses a line, when something isn't right, your emotions alert you. That's not being too sensitive. That's your system working perfectly. The manipulator wants you to disconnect that alarm. They want you to ignore the warning signals. Because if you can't feel when something's wrong, they can do whatever they want without consequence. So when someone calls you sensitive, pause. Don't react. Don't defend. Just breathe and observe. Ask yourself, why does my feeling threaten them? Often it's because your awareness shines a light on their behavior. A manipulator's greatest fear is being seen clearly. That's why they minimize, deflect, and project. Because truth burns. Try this small practice. Every time someone questions your reaction, write down the exact words they used, the moment it happened, and what emotion rose inside you. Don't analyze, just record. Over days or weeks, you'll start seeing patterns. You'll realize it's not your sensitivity that's the issue. It's their discomfort with accountability. You'll notice that the same person calls you sensitive every time you set a boundary, every time you speak truth, every time you refuse to accept their version of reality. The pattern reveals that sensitive is just their code word for inconvenient. You're inconvenient because you see through them. You're inconvenient because you won't play along anymore. Stoicism calls this process self-examination, turning emotion into evidence. Seneca once said, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." To feel deeply in a shallow world is not a curse. It's proof that you're still human in a time when most people have gone numb. The Stoic path isn't about killing emotion. It's about mastering perception. You learn to hold your fire without losing your flame. So next time someone leans in and says, "Why are you so sensitive?" Don't shrink. Don't apologize. Look them in the eye. Breathe deeply and let this truth anchor you. You're not sensitive. You're perceptive. You see what others deny, and that's why liars fear you. Question 2. Are you sure that really happened? They tilt their head, smile faintly, and drop the question that unravels your confidence. Are you sure that really happened? The words sound innocent, but the impact is surgical. Suddenly, the clear memory you had starts to blur. You replay the event in your mind, the argument, the lie, the betrayal, and yet doubt creeps in. Maybe you remembered it wrong. Maybe you are exaggerating. That's how gaslighting begins. Not with denial, but with suggestion. Here's what makes this so insidious. They don't flatly deny what happened. That would be too obvious. Instead, they plant a seed of doubt so small, so subtle, that you don't even notice you're watering it yourself. You start thinking, well, maybe I did misunderstand. Maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought. Maybe I'm remembering the details wrong. And with each maybe, your certainty crumbles a little more. A skilled manipulator doesn't erase your truth. They simply invite you to doubt it. This is psychological warfare disguised as conversation. It's not about finding clarity. It's about replacing it with confusion. When they ask that question, what they're really saying is, let me rewrite your story. And once you allow them to edit your memory, you'll depend on them to define what's real. It's how emotional control tightens its grip, one innocent question at a time. The most dangerous part is how gradual it is. The first time they question your memory, you might defend yourself. But the 10th time, the 20th time, you start preemptively doubting yourself. Before they even ask, you're already thinking, maybe I'm wrong about this. You've internalized their skepticism. You've become your own gaslighter. That's their ultimate goal. To make you doubt yourself so thoroughly that they don't even need to do it anymore. You'll do it for them. Stoicism teaches that perception is the first battlefield of the mind. Epictetus wrote, "We suffer not from events, but from our judgment about them." The liar understands this better than most. They know if they can alter your judgment, they don't need to alter the event. Your mind will do the rest. This is why the Stoics place such emphasis on maintaining clarity of thought. They understood that once your perception is compromised, everything else follows. Your decisions become unreliable. Your boundaries become negotiable. Your sense of self starts to fracture, all because someone planted doubt about what you know to be true. That's why Stoic awareness is a shield. It trains you to separate what actually happened from the story someone wants you to believe. Think about it. Truth doesn't fade, confusion does. If someone truly cares about you, they'll help you find clarity, not fog. They won't question your entire perception. They'll ask for understanding. A manipulator, on the other hand, thrives on ambiguity. They plant the question, wait for you to spiral, and then position themselves as the reasonable one. It's a performance, and you've been cast as the unreliable narrator. Here's how you know the difference between someone who genuinely misunderstood and someone who's gaslighting. A genuine person says, "I remember it differently. Help me understand what you remember." They're curious. They want to bridge the gap in understanding. A gaslighter says, "Are you sure that really happened?" with a tone that implies you're unstable, unreliable, or dramatic. They're not trying to understand. They're trying to make you doubt. One seeks truth, the other seeks control. The Stoics believed that journaling was a sacred act of remembering, a way to preserve truth against distortion. Marcus Aurelius's Meditations wasn't written for the world. It was a record of reality, his own thoughts, observations, and battles with self-deception. You can do the same. Each time someone makes you doubt what happened, take a pen and write, what did I see? What did I feel? What did I know for sure? That's your reality journal. It's not therapy, it's training. When you write the truth, you anchor yourself in it. Modern manipulators rely on one thing, your silence. If they can make you question your memory, they can rewrite it. But when you document reality, you reclaim power. Over time, you'll notice how the same people always question your perception because they fear accountability. Stoicism reminds you that memory is not weakness, it's moral responsibility. You have the right to remember clearly. Seneca once said, "The truth is not lost, it is abandoned." Don't abandon yours. You saw what you saw. You felt what you felt. You know what you know. And the next time someone asks, "Are you sure that really happened?" Don't argue, don't explain. Simply smile and remember this. Your clarity is your armor. Write it down before they rewrite it. Question 3. Don't you trust me? It's one of the most manipulative questions ever crafted. Don't you trust me? It sounds vulnerable, intimate, even innocent, but under the surface, it's a trap designed to make you feel guilty for protecting yourself. The moment you hesitate, the manipulator wins. Because what they're really saying is, prove your loyalty by ignoring your instincts. And if you fall for it once, they'll use it forever. Let's be clear about what's happening here. They're not asking if you trust them. They're testing if you trust yourself. They're seeing if you'll choose your intuition over their charm, your wisdom over their words, your boundaries over their comfort. And when you hesitate, when you feel that pang of guilt for doubting them, that's when they know they've got you. This question is emotional blackmail disguised as affection. It takes the most sacred human bond, trust, and turns it into a weapon. You start feeling like you owe them reassurance, like mistrusting them makes you the bad person. But that's not how real trust works. Real trust is built through consistency, not confession, through actions, not arguments. When someone has to demand your trust, it's usually because they've already broken it. Think about people you truly trust. Did they ever have to ask for your trust? No, they earned it quietly, through reliability, through showing up, through matching their words with their deeds. Trust isn't something you demand. It's something you demonstrate. The very fact that they're asking this question tells you everything you need to know. Something in their behavior has already triggered your doubt. And instead of addressing that behavior, they're attacking your doubt. Manipulators use this line when their story doesn't add up, when timelines blur, when explanations shift, when something inside you says, "This isn't right." But instead of addressing the facts, they appeal to your emotions. They know good-hearted people value harmony over confrontation, so they hide behind that virtue. They use your empathy as a shield against your logic. And slowly they train you to doubt your own pattern recognition. Here's the insidious part. Over time, you stop trusting yourself. You second-guess every instinct. You dismiss every red flag. You rationalize every inconsistency. All because you've been conditioned to believe that questioning someone means you don't trust them, and not trusting them makes you a bad person. But that's a lie. Healthy relationships don't require blind trust. They're built on earned trust, demonstrated trust, consistent trust. And when that consistency breaks, it's not wrong to notice. It's wise. The Stoics would call this moral blindness, when emotion clouds judgment. Seneca wrote, "Confidence is born from character, not persuasion. You don't earn trust by asking for it. You earn it by being trustworthy." A Stoic doesn't hand out blind faith. He observes. He measures. He waits for alignment between words and deeds. Epictetus warned that misplaced trust is not kindness. It's self-neglect. So the next time someone says, "Don't you trust me?" pause before answering. Breathe. Notice what your body feels in that moment. The tightening in your chest, the small pulse of unease. Those are not signs of paranoia. They're signals of wisdom. Stoicism teaches that your intuition, when trained by reason, is an ally. Trust should never silence your awareness. It should reinforce it. If you want to practice Stoic discernment, try this small ritual. For every person you interact with regularly, write down 3 things: what they say, what they do, and what remains consistent over time. That's your personal trust ledger. Review it every few weeks. You'll be amazed how clearly patterns reveal themselves when emotion no longer clouds the page. The manipulator hates written clarity because it exposes what their charm conceals. Marcus Aurelius once observed, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If you constantly color your thoughts with guilt for protecting yourself, you'll live trapped in other people's expectations. But when you color them with truth and self-respect, you reclaim your power to see things as they are. Trust is not a gift you hand to anyone who asks. It's a mirror reflecting the truth of their behavior. And sometimes, the most stoic act of love is to walk away from those who keep asking for what they've never earned. So when someone looks at you and says, "Don't you trust me?" you can finally smile and answer silently, "I trust patterns, not promises." Question 4. Why would I lie to you? Why would I lie to you? The tone is wounded, almost offended, as if the very idea of their dishonesty is absurd. But that's exactly the point. The question isn't meant to clear suspicion. It's meant to shame you for having it. You were about to confront something that didn't add up, but now you hesitate, afraid of seeming paranoid or unfair. They've flipped the script. You go from questioning them to questioning yourself. Watch how skillfully this works. You notice something off, a story that changed, a detail that doesn't match, a promise that was broken. So you bring it up carefully, trying not to sound accusatory, and instead of addressing what you noticed, they make you defend why you noticed it. Suddenly the focus isn't on their inconsistency, it's on your suspicion. You're the one who needs to justify yourself, not them. This is one of the oldest manipulative techniques in human psychology, the illusion of moral credibility. When someone says, "Why would I lie to you?" they're implying that lying is beneath them, that they're too virtuous, too loyal, too loving to deceive you. And yet that statement alone should make you cautious, because honest people rarely need to declare their honesty. They simply live it. Liars understand human guilt better than anyone. They know most people would rather believe a comfortable lie than face an inconvenient truth. So they hide behind your kindness, your need for harmony, your desire to see the good in others. Here's what they're counting on. They know you're a good person. They know you don't want to think badly of others. They know you'll give them the benefit of the doubt, so they exploit that goodness. They use your virtue against you. Every time you catch them in an inconsistency, they act hurt that you would even question them. And because you're kind, because you're empathetic, you feel bad for making them feel bad. You apologize for doubting them, and they accept your apology, all while continuing to deceive you. Stoicism calls this emotional weakness, the tendency to confuse hope with evidence. Marcus Aurelius warned, "If someone deceives you, it's because you chose to trust your hope instead of your reason." A Stoic mind doesn't demand proof through words. It watches patterns through time, because lies are temporary, but inconsistency is permanent. Here's a powerful truth the Stoics understood. Words are cheap. Anyone can say anything. "I love you." "I'd never hurt you." "You can trust me." These are just sounds coming from someone's mouth. What matters is what they do, how they behave when no one's watching, how they treat you when they're angry, whether their actions align with their promises. That's where truth lives, not in declarations, but in demonstrations. A liar will give you beautiful words. A trustworthy person will give you consistent actions. Look closely. The person who swears they'd never lie to you often avoids eye contact when details are discussed. They'll say they don't remember specifics or turn the topic into humor. That's not confusion. It's strategy. They're not trying to earn your trust. They're managing your doubt. In moments like this, your best weapon isn't confrontation. It's observation. Don't argue to prove they're lying. Let time do the proving for you. Stoicism teaches that truth requires no defense. When someone's behavior contradicts their words, you don't need to fight for clarity. You only need to stay silent long enough to witness the collapse of their narrative. Silence in this case is not surrender, it's power. Try this Stoic exercise. For the next 7 days, resist the urge to correct every inconsistency you notice. Instead, write them down. Record the moments when words and actions diverge. By the end of the week, you'll have a mirror, not of their stories, but of their character. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. Epictetus wrote, "The wise man never fears the truth." Remember that. A liar fears truth because it strips them of control. They rely on confusion. They depend on your desire for reassurance. But when you stay grounded, calm, and watchful, their performance falls apart. So the next time someone looks at you and asks, "Why would I lie to you?" Don't explain, don't defend, and don't rush to believe. Just pause. Look into their eyes and let silence speak for you. Because the Stoic answer is simple. Words can charm, but patterns never lie. If these questions are hitting home, make sure you're subscribed so you never miss the next dose of wisdom. Drop a comment below with the question that resonated most with you. Let's keep going. Question 5. Why can't you just move on? It always happens after the damage is done. After they've lied, betrayed, or walked away without accountability, they come back with a calm tone and a sentence sharp enough to reopen your wound. Why can't you just move on? It sounds reasonable, mature, even wise. But underneath, it's cruelty disguised as logic. What they mean is, why can't you forget what I did so I can stop feeling guilty? This question is not about your healing. It's about their comfort. Notice the timing. They don't ask this when you're ready. They ask it when you're still processing, still hurting, still trying to understand what happened. They want you to skip the healing process and jump straight to forgiveness. Not because they've changed, not because they've apologized, but because your pain makes them uncomfortable. Your memory makes them accountable. And they want neither. It's not a request for closure. It's a demand for your silence. And it works because it manipulates the part of you that wants to appear over it. You start to feel weak for still caring, ashamed for still hurting, guilty for still remembering. They've shifted the moral burden from their wrongdoing to your recovery. But Stoicism sees pain differently. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What stands in the way becomes the way." Pain isn't an obstacle to healing. It is the process of healing. To move on prematurely is to bury a wound alive. The Stoic doesn't run from discomfort. He studies it. He looks at the scar and asks, what truth lives here? Because truth, once seen, sets you free. But truth denied will enslave you forever. Modern culture tells us healing means forgetting. Stoicism teaches the opposite. Healing means remembering without resentment. You don't move on by pretending it didn't happen. You move forward by integrating what happened into your wisdom. The wound becomes your teacher, not your cage. That's the difference between suppression and transcendence. Think of it this way. When you break a bone, the doctor doesn't tell you to just get over it. The bone needs time to heal properly. If you try to use it before it's ready, you'll cause more damage. Emotional wounds work the same way. They need time. They need attention. They need proper healing. Rushing the process doesn't make you strong. It makes you vulnerable to being hurt again in the exact same way, because you never learned the lesson the wound was trying to teach you. So the next time someone tells you to move on, ask yourself, who benefits from my forgetting? Often it's the person who wronged you. They want closure without consequence, peace without repair. But peace built on denial is not peace, it's anesthesia. The Stoic path refuses that illusion. Real peace comes from processing, not suppressing, from understanding, not forgetting, from integrating the lesson, not ignoring the experience. When you truly heal, you don't forget what happened. You remember it without the emotional charge. You can talk about it without falling apart. You can see the person without feeling that pain, not because you've buried it, but because you've transformed it into wisdom. That's what the Stoics meant by turning obstacles into opportunities. The obstacle isn't what happened to you. The obstacle is refusing to learn from it. When you learn, you transmute pain into power. Seneca wrote, "What need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears." He wasn't glorifying pain. He was honoring honesty. Here's a Stoic ritual to reclaim your narrative. Write a closure letter, not to send, but to release. Write everything you wish you could say, every sentence you swallowed, every truth you minimize. Then burn it, not to erase the memory, but to transform it. Fire doesn't destroy truth. It purifies it. When the smoke rises, let it carry away the need for their apology. You don't need permission to heal. The Stoic heals not by denial, but by digestion, taking in the lesson without the poison. When you stop waiting for closure from the person who hurt you, you give closure to yourself. And when they come back with that question again, calm and calculated, why can't you just move on? You'll no longer defend your healing. You'll simply breathe, stand grounded, and remember this. You don't owe anyone your peace. You owe yourself your truth. Question 6. Why are you making this about you? This one hits hard because it attacks the very heart of your self-respect. You finally find the courage to speak your truth, to say, "That hurt," or "I didn't deserve that." And they look at you with disbelief, almost pity, and say, "Why are you making this about you?" Suddenly, your attempt at honesty becomes selfishness. The spotlight shifts. You're no longer talking about what they did. Now you're defending why you spoke at all. Let's break down what just happened. You gathered your courage. You chose your words carefully. You expressed how their actions affected you. You did everything right, and their response was to make you feel guilty for having feelings. They reframed your vulnerability as narcissism, your honesty as self-absorption, your boundary as ego. This is role inversion at its most sophisticated. It's a classic manipulation tactic. Role inversion. They flip the emotional script to make you doubt your right to express pain. By framing your boundary as ego, they get to stay comfortable in their wrongdoing. This move is especially effective against kind, self-aware people. the ones who already analyze their own emotions, who fear being too much. The manipulator exploits that fear like a lever. They know that if they can make you feel guilty for speaking up, you'll silence yourself next time. Here's what they're banking on. They know you're thoughtful. They know you examine your own motivations. They know you try to see both sides. So they weaponize that self-awareness against you. They make you wonder, am I being selfish? Am I making this about me when it shouldn't be? And while you're lost in that maze of self-doubt, they slip away without ever addressing what they did. It's brilliant, really. Evil, but brilliant. They turn your virtue, your capacity for self-reflection, into a trap that keeps you silent. But Stoicism teaches that self-awareness is not self-absorption. There's a difference between making everything about you and taking responsibility for your inner world. Epictetus once said, "First tell yourself what kind of person you want to be." The Stoic looks inward not to center the universe around himself, but to govern his own reactions, to say, "This is who I choose to be, no matter how others behave." That's not ego, that's discipline. When someone asks, "Why are you making this about you?" what they're really doing is protecting their illusion. They want the conversation to orbit around your tone, your timing, your delivery, anything but their actions. They hope you'll get lost defending your intention while they avoid accountability. Don't play that game. The Stoic response is calm observation, not emotional defense. Here's a technique you can practice. Step back mentally. When accused of selfishness, silently ask yourself 3 questions. 1. Am I seeking truth or attention? 2. Am I stating facts or assigning blame? 3. Does my intention align with my values? If the answer is yes, stay grounded. Don't over-explain. Don't negotiate your sincerity. Your peace doesn't require their approval. You can even use a Stoic mantra in that moment. It's about me because I am responsible for me. That single sentence is your shield. It reminds you that self-respect is not arrogance, it's stewardship. You are the guardian of your mind, your boundaries, and your energy. If you don't make your inner world your concern, someone else will make it theirs, and they'll weaponize it against you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you blame others, you give away your power." The reverse is also true. When others blame you for speaking truth, they reveal their fear of losing power. Remember that. People who are at peace with themselves don't need to gaslight you for setting boundaries. So the next time someone says, "Why are you making this about you?" don't shrink back or argue. Just breathe deeply, meet their gaze, and let silence do the work. Because the Stoic knows awareness is not ego, it's integrity, and integrity never needs permission to exist. Question 7. Do you really think you're perfect? It always comes when you finally hold someone accountable. You point out a lie, a contradiction, or a repeated pattern, and instead of reflecting, they smirk and say, "Do you really think you're perfect?" The question lands like a slap cloaked in reason. It's not curiosity. It's an attack, one that shifts the moral weight off them and drops it onto you. Suddenly, you're not talking about what they did. You're defending your right to speak at all. This is moral deflection in its purest form. They know they're caught. They know you've identified a real problem. So instead of addressing it, they change the subject to your character. They create a false equivalence, as if pointing out someone's lie requires you to be perfect, as if holding someone accountable means you claim to be flawless. That's not how truth works. You don't need to be perfect to recognize wrong. You don't need to be sinless to speak truth. This tactic is called moral deflection. It's how manipulators neutralize truth without denying it. By painting you as self-righteous, they force you into silence. You start explaining, softening, apologizing for your tone. You rush to prove you're humble, and in doing so, you abandon your position of clarity. That's exactly what they want. They weaponize your integrity against you. Watch what happens in that moment. The issue you raised, the legitimate concern you voiced, gets completely buried. Now, the entire conversation is about whether you're arrogant enough to think you're perfect. It's a masterful redirect. Instead of discussing their lie, you're discussing your audacity to point it out. Instead of examining their behavior, you're examining your worthiness to speak. It's exhausting. It's confusing. And that's precisely the point. If they can make every conversation about truth into a conversation about your character, they never have to change. They never have to grow. They never have to face what they've done. But Stoicism teaches something far deeper. Humility does not mean silence in the face of falsehood. Seneca wrote, "He who corrects others should first correct himself, but he should still speak." Notice the balance. The Stoic begins with self-examination, but does not stop there. To see wrong and say nothing is not humility. It's fear disguised as virtue. The wise man seeks truth, not approval. When someone says, "Do you really think you're perfect?" what they're actually doing is trying to equalize guilt. If they can make you feel just as flawed, then no one has to change. They know that good people often over-own responsibility. You'll start thinking, maybe I was harsh, or maybe I could have said it better. But clarity doesn't require perfection. It only requires honesty. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, "If anyone can show me I'm wrong, I'll gladly change, for I seek truth which never harmed anyone." That's the Stoic posture, open to correction, but immune to manipulation. You can admit imperfection without surrendering truth. The key is intention. Are you speaking to punish or to reveal? If your intent is rooted in integrity, then stand firm. Try this exercise. Next time someone accuses you of thinking you're perfect, don't argue. Instead, say calmly, "No, I just think what happened deserves honesty." That single sentence resets the frame. It brings the focus back to the issue, not the ego. Stoicism teaches that control of tone is control of power. When you remain steady while they escalate, you expose their avoidance. The manipulator thrives on guilt, but guilt only controls you if you believe it. The Stoic knows that truth doesn't need to be loud to be strong. It doesn't need to humiliate to illuminate. It simply stands firm, quiet, and unshakable. Seneca once observed, "To be calm in correction is a sign of greatness." So the next time someone sneers, "Do you really think you're perfect?" Take a breath. Let compassion replace anger, and remind yourself, I don't need to be perfect to tell the truth. I just need to be brave enough to see it. Stoic Shield: How to Disarm Manipulation. By now you've probably noticed the pattern. Every question a manipulator asks, "Why are you so sensitive? Are you sure that really happened? Don't you trust me?" They all have one purpose: to make you doubt yourself. The liar doesn't need to rewrite reality. They only need to make you rewrite your own mind. Once you question your perception, your feelings, your memory, they've won. The battlefield isn't the argument, it's your awareness. That's where the Stoic must stand guard. Manipulators operate through emotional distortion. They take your virtues, empathy, patience, understanding, and weaponize them against you. They speak in circles, twist context, and hide behind tone. The goal is confusion, because a confused mind is a controllable one. But Stoicism gives you something they can't predict: clarity. Here's what manipulators don't expect. They expect you to react. They expect you to defend. They expect you to explain. They expect you to engage with their distortions. But what if you don't? What if you simply observe? What if you recognize their tactics and choose not to play? That's where the Stoic shield becomes your greatest power. It's not about fighting back. It's about not fighting at all. Because you can't win an argument with someone who isn't interested in truth. But you can protect your peace by refusing to participate in their game. It's not about fighting louder or winning debates. It's about standing still when they expect you to fall. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike your enemy. To disarm a manipulator, you don't become colder. You become clearer. You stop reacting and start observing. You refuse to play their game because you've recognized it. That awareness is your first shield." This is what separates a Stoic from everyone else. Most people, when manipulated, either fight back with aggression or collapse in confusion. The Stoic does neither. He remains centered, grounded in his own truth, unmoved by external chaos. This isn't about being cold or emotionless. It's about being so clear, so anchored in reality, that manipulation can't find a foothold. Once you see manipulation for what it is, not a reflection of your worth, but a projection of their fear, you stop absorbing it. Their tactics lose oxygen when you stop feeding them your reaction. Here's the Stoic shield, a 3-step method to protect your peace in any manipulative encounter. Step 1. Observe without reacting. When someone says something that triggers doubt or guilt, pause. Don't explain. Don't defend. Simply notice what's happening in your body, the tightening in your chest, the pulse of anxiety, the urge to justify yourself. Breathe through it. The pause is your power. In that brief moment of stillness, you reclaim control from the chaos they're creating. Manipulators thrive on immediate reaction. When you pause, you break the rhythm. This pause doesn't need to be long. 3 seconds, 5 seconds. Just enough time to create distance between their words and your response. In that space, you regain your center. You remember who you are. You remember what you know. And most importantly, you stop the automatic response they're trying to trigger. The pause is where your power lives. Use it. Step 2. Label the tactic. Silently name what they're doing. That's guilt tripping. That's gaslighting. That's moral deflection. Naming breaks the trance. It separates their chaos from your clarity. Once you label it, you see it for what it is, a strategy, not a truth. This simple act of mental labeling creates psychological distance. You're no longer inside the emotional storm. You're observing it from a place of calm. Think of it like watching a magic trick after you know how it's done. Before you understand the mechanism, it seems like real magic. After you know the secret, it's just technique. That's what labeling does. It reveals the mechanism behind the manipulation. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. The trick stops working, not because they stopped trying, but because you stopped falling for it. Step 3. Respond with silence or truth, not emotion. You don't owe an explanation to dishonesty. You owe alignment to your values. A simple, "I don't see it that way," is often enough to end the game. Or sometimes, silence is the most powerful response of all. Not the cold shoulder, but the quiet confidence of someone who refuses to be moved by manipulation. Here's what this looks like in practice. They ask, "Why are you so sensitive?" You pause. Label it mentally as emotional invalidation. Then respond simply, I see it differently. That's it. No explanation, no justification, no defense, just a clear statement that you're not accepting their frame. They might push, they might escalate, but you remain calm, rooted in your truth, unmoved by their tactics. This isn't coldness. This is clarity. This is strength. This is what it means to be stoic. Practice this until calm becomes your reflex, because manipulation feeds on reaction, not resistance. The more still you are, the more their illusion crumbles. They'll call you distant, cold, detached. Let them. A Stoic doesn't explain his peace, he embodies it. Seneca said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Mastery doesn't mean apathy, it means choosing what deserves your energy. The Stoic shield isn't arrogance, it's self-respect. It's the quiet confidence of someone who refuses to be rewritten by another's chaos. So when the manipulator asks their clever questions, smile softly. You've heard them all before. You know their rhythm, their strategy, their need for control. But you've built your shield. You've turned awareness into armor and peace into power. And when they realize they can no longer disturb your mind, they'll fall silent. Not because you defeated them, but because you no longer play their game. Your calm mind terrifies the manipulator, and that's your victory. Every manipulator shares one fear, your awareness. Because once you see the game, it ends. They can twist words, fake emotions, rewrite stories, but they can't control a mind anchored in truth. The Stoics knew this centuries ago. Peace isn't found in the silence of others, but in the mastery of yourself. You don't need to shout your truth. You just need to live it. You don't need revenge. Your clarity is revenge. Think about where you were when this video started. Maybe you were confused. Maybe you were doubting yourself. Maybe you were wondering if you were the problem. Now you know better. Now you can see the 7 questions for what they really are. Not innocent inquiries, not genuine concern, but calculated attempts to undermine your reality, your memory, your boundaries, and your truth. And now that you see them, you're no longer vulnerable to them. Knowledge is protection, awareness is armor, understanding is power. So as you leave this lesson, remember your emotions aren't weakness, your memory isn't madness, and your boundaries aren't cruelty. They are proof that you've awakened. A calm mind grounded in reason and virtue is untouchable. You don't fight liars with anger. You defeat them with awareness. And awareness, my friend, is the ultimate Stoic weapon. The 7 questions we've covered today are just variations of the same core strategy. Make you doubt yourself so they can control you. But now you know, and knowing changes everything. You can't be manipulated by tactics you recognize. You can't be gaslit when you trust your memory. You can't be guilt-tripped when you know your boundaries are valid. The power is yours now, not theirs. Use it wisely. Use it with the calm strength of someone who has chosen truth over comfort, clarity over confusion, and peace over chaos. That's the Stoic path, and you're walking it now. Comment below. I see through manipulation. I choose peace over confusion. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Remember, awareness is your ultimate weapon. Until next time, stay strong, stay aware.